All right. Welcome to Sales Unscripted, where it's not about what you're saying, but who you're being while you're saying it. That matters most. Jim Padilla here, your outsourced sales specialist, your go-to for sales teams, especially in the coaching and consulting world. I want to talk to you today about some trends that we're seeing, right? Many of you know that we have, we've got a sales army. We've been providing outsourced sales solutions to the personal development world for a long time now, for 4 years plus. And everything I'm talking to you about right now in this episode, thanks for joining in. If you're joining on the video, as well as on the episode, we're going to have all the resources for you here. So just stay with me. But diving into this, joining in right now, we're going to be unpacking some trends that we've been seeing based on the 4 years of running launches and live events and high ticket sales, right? We've anchored over $173 million worth of sales events. We've conducted over 100,000 sales conversations of all sizes, shapes, and colors and strategies. Okay? And we sell from $1,000 products all the way up to $100,000 products. So the real important piece for you to know in this is that my opinion is almost irrelevant. This is purely what the data shows at the volume and scale. We just know things that you can't possibly know unless you're doing the same kind of volume that we're doing. And if you are, the likelihood is you're doing this volume only with your clients in your marketplace. So we have this kind of volume across dozens of niches and strategies and events. So we're seeing stuff from all over. We got a pretty good 360-degree view. All right, so let's dive into this real quick. This is really about, there's a couple of points that I want you to see right now. We work with a lot of people who are experts. Everybody we work with is experts in their space. And there's what people say they're doing, and there's what people are actually doing. And there's a lot of people who are teaching what they know to be right. And I'm not knocking anybody. We get just as guilty as this. When you're coaching somebody, when you're teaching somebody, you want to tell them what you know they should be doing, even if you may not be doing it yourself, because you want them to do it right. So there's nothing wrong with it. But the problem is, it in itself gets to become a trend and a pattern. And I'm going to share something with you here right now that you may not be aware of. Okay, because after a while, the audience, the marketplace, they get keen to this stuff. Okay, our team talks to all of your clients, maybe not yours personally and directly, but yours as a representative of the industry, right? Many of our clients have crossover, right? There's JV promotions, referrals, etc. We literally talk to clients regularly. From one campaign, they show up on another campaign. Then they show up at another event. So we talk to them on many people's lists. So literally the physically same person. But if not the physically same person, a person who represents your client as well, right? There's a lot of crossover. And so we hear them all. They talk to our team at volume, and we hear a lot of these same things, right? And so this visual here is something that I want to give you right now that will show you the best representation of how I can explain this to you. All right. This picture, right? If you're listening on the podcast, I put a link to this picture in the show notes, along with other links that we're going to be talking about here. So feel free to check it out in the show notes at salesunscripted.com. It's down here in the video as well. Okay. This picture represents a quote unquote track home. However, this is a really high-end track home in a nearby area in our home vicinity of Roseville, California. And every home on this street is from 4,000 to 8,000 square feet. They're big, nice, exotic, fancy homes, right? There are people here, like a few Sacramento Kings players have lived in this neighborhood. Eddie Murphy had a home in this neighborhood at one point, actually installed an alarm in it years ago. Every one of these is unique. One of them is a musician, a composer, who plays, I don't know her name, I apologize, but she has a 2,500 square foot recording studio in the bottom level of her home. There's Olympic-sized swimming pools. There's full-size basketball courts. There's bowling alleys. There's movie theaters, and a whole bunch of other things that you might not even be able to think of in these homes. But from the outside, what do they look like? They all look like the same. How you, by looking, standing out here on the edge of the street, looking in, how on earth would you possibly know all of those things are inside? You don't. And ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to your industry in your neighborhood. Unless you intentionally do not live in one of these homes, you've intentionally lived someplace else where your home has nothing but uniqueness in its own particular brand that represents you, or if you've done something to modify how you look from the street. I just want you to insert yourself into this metaphor, because this is what we see every day. This is what your clients tell us. This is what your clients are seeing. You think you're being unique. You think you're being effective because you're doing what everybody else is doing. You're what's the latest and greatest? What's the trends we need to be following? What are the things we need to be doing? It's a dangerous question, because this is where it leads you. This is where it leads you. Be careful. All right. So allow me to jump to another screen. Whoops. Here we go. All right. So here's the deal. Keeping that in mind, we need to get you to a place where people can understand from the outside how you're different. You have a great, oh, I love her. I love him. He provides great results. He talks about great things. She's got great systems. But how are they any different from the 10,000 other systems and announcements that are coming through social media and email and everywhere else every day? Why is it going to stick? They're going to go from your great message to somebody else's great message to somebody else's great message. They need to remember something powerful and specific about you. Okay. So I'm hoping that if nothing else, this is what you walk away with from me today. Do not let that visual leave your mind. Burn it into your brain. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about a few different things here. Just some of the negative trends that we're seeing that are leading. Okay. Negative trends, meaning don't do these things because we've seen them lead to decreased results. Right. Also understand, please, there's no such thing as always, and there's no such thing as never. No such thing as always, no such thing as never. There are always exceptions, right? There will be exceptions. But this is the trends. If you just take some of this in and start implementing any one of these, much less multiple of them, you will see a drastic change. Okay. First, let me run through these real quick. Don't disconnect with your audience. And I don't mean like disconnect physically, although that is one as well. What I want you to think about is, don't disconnect from reality. Your people are there. Your people are not stupid. Okay. And there are certain things that just don't pass the common sense test. Right. We've seen an overabundance of people who are pouring bonuses into packages because they want to win a JV contest, want a launch contest, wherever you want to overwhelm people with, look, here's a $2,000 offer. This is an example of something we actually just saw. We've seen this in a launch. $2,000 offer, $68,000 worth of bonuses. Are you freaking kidding me? Right now, you might think in a minute, well, I got so many bonuses, I have to go with this one because now for $2,000, I'm getting $70,000 worth of product. Yeah, sure. Is that what's really happening here? Have you ever show me one case where somebody has purchased your $2,000 product with your $18, $24, or $68,000 worth of bonuses, and they've actually used them all, implemented them all, opened them all, or even any of them? It rarely happens, right? It's just an overabundance. It's disconnect. It doesn't pass common sense reality test. Why would you give me $68,000 worth of stuff for a $2,000 product? It tells me you're full of crap on some level about something. I don't know what it is, and I may not be able to explain it, and I sure as hell most of the time, don't have the patience or the time to ask the question, so I just leave. Okay, these are the things that our team talks about after we probe and dig and pull from people, right? Next, dishonoring limiters. Literally, over an 18-month period, 9% of the projects that we worked on, people actually stuck to the limiter. Meaning, we're going to put 100 people in this room. First 100 people come to the event. And of course, we sold 156. We got 156 people to show up. We got 165. Oh, more people wanted it. We're going to open it up. We're going to open up another round of seats. We're going to extend the room. It's bullshit. Right? Every once in a while, there's merit to it. But again, this is a trend. Stop it. Cart closed Tuesday. at noon. Cart closed Tuesday at midnight. Okay, well, we're going to extend it because more people have interest. Well, then the cart didn't close Tuesday at midnight. We're going to open it up just for a 12 pay, common one, right? When it happens every day, you are killing the credibility and the integrity of the industry, of your peers and your colleagues, and you're leading the way. So people aren't buying into you. It becomes a trend that people don't appreciate. All right. Leaky bucket syndrome. This is one that we see. Look, you got some holes, and picture a bucket that's got holes in it, and people pour water into it, right? If you put a trickle of water in, it's all going to go out the bottom. But if you pour a gush of water, you put a hose in it, you're going to fill it up. It's going to take longer to fill it up because water's coming out the bottom, but more water's coming in the top, right? So we fool ourselves into thinking everything's okay because I got a full bucket. But as soon as you turn off the water, it's all gone. Right. And most of the time we don't want to turn off, we don't want to turn off the faucet to fix what's going on. So we just pour more water in it all the time. We got a broken system. We got a broken process. We got something that's not delivering right, something that's not fulfilling right. And we just keep throwing more volume at it, just playing a numbers game. Your people aren't numbers. Okay. If what you're doing isn't working, how does doing a lot more of it solve your problem? How about you just take a step back, shut something down, slow something down, shut it off if you need to. Put it away. Maybe you evaluate and say, does this even need to be? Is this the right thing anymore? Something to think about. All right. Big one. It's costing people all over the place. It's costing you. And again, all of this stuff goes back to credibility, right? We talk to everybody's audience all the time. This is a common theme. People are tired of it. People think the coaching industry is the most scamming, unscrutinized, unintegrity, dishonest, except for the people they know. It's always about the people they know, right? But that's the biggest the indictment of this industry all the time. And I'm tired of hearing it. And you have control over it, right? Don't do what they're doing. Don't look like everybody else. Okay. Castle on the Hill syndrome. Hey, this is a big one. I can't tell you how many times we work with a client and we're working with their team. We're running a launch, running events, whatever. And so many times the client themselves are hard to reach. And I get it. You got to protect yourself. You can't, when you got thousands of followers, it's hard to talk to everybody all the time. So then get a system, get an effective way to be able to reach people and communicate with people. The bottom line is they deserve your time. You ain't nobody special. Right? I get it. Hey, I try to talk to everybody that I can. I don't just talk to my 8-figure clients, my 7-figure clients, right? I talk to people who haven't even been clients of ours because I want to see if I can help them. If I get on the phone, help them out with a 10-minute phone call, solve a problem, great. If I can send them a resource, make an intro, great, I'll do it. And I'm telling you right now, all of you think you're doing it. I'm going to challenge you. Say, are you really? Come down from the castle on the hill. Because this is the vibe that people share this with us. They think you're king, queen in the castle on the hill, and they're the peasants in the village down below. Is that how you want your people, your followers, your clients, your community to view you? They think you're special. They love you. One thing I would say across the board, we get everybody that we talk to. I can't remember the last time we haven't done a campaign or an event where people are talking about how much they love you. They love you. They just wish they had more of you. Okay, so think about it. You have to come up with your own answers in this, but please come down from the castle on the hill. Give people your number. We got clients that people don't even know how to reach. Send emails and hope to get a response. Send something on Zendesk and then wait 3 days. It's like, no, people need to know what the hell's going on. Because you know what they end up doing? They reach out to our sales team. So our sales team will answer the phone. Our sales team will call them back. Our sales team will talk to them. You have to talk to your people. Right? So again, lots of things going on, tons of things going on, but just focus on these areas, right? Don't get out of these negative trends. Don't disconnect from reality. Don't dishonor your limiters. Move from the leaky bucket syndrome and start fixing stuff, right? And get rid of the castle on the hill syndrome. Create intimacy with people, right? Now, let's talk about some positive trends, some things that we're seeing that work really well, that are creating results, that are creating changes for people. And yes, they all take more work. Bottom line. Okay. Do these things because we've seen them lead to increased results and big trends. Okay. 1, Take a less is more approach. Less is more. You don't need to overwhelm, like $68,000 worth of bonuses. Come on. What if you're $2,000, if you put all that effort into a $2,000 offer that would actually solve the problem instead, do you really need all the bonuses? Maybe there's a complementary bonus that helps solve a problem that they're likely to have while they're implementing. As long as it's strategic and makes sense, that's one thing, right? Less is more. Fine tune the stuff that they need. Don't just overwhelm them with stuff that they don't. Right? We have taken a shift in our with Gain the Edge over the last year. We pulled back and we started creating a bunch of personal products, our sales training, Sales Unscripted, and Cyndi's Sacred Mornings routines, and our Ready Set Scale, and a lot of products, great stuff, all great things that are going to make us a lot of money and help a lot of people. We decided we need to pour all in right here in our outsource and our done for you sales environment. We need to perfect it, so that we're providing all of you the greatest levels of support, right? So we decided less is more. We put all of that stuff back on the shelf, and now we're here to serve you. We're here to perfect this and dominate and make this the best possible outsourced solution that can exist for launches and events and high-ticket sales, okay? Slow is the new fast. Again, along the line, same thing. We're seeing this ad nauseum, right? We're seeing people reevaluate, make some serious serious changes, right? We've had some clients that shut down their offices because they had to reevaluate. They slowed down, said, okay, let's take a step back from this. Even though we bought a new building, decided, you know what? The landscape is getting scary. Let's be smart about this. Sold offices and sent everybody home to work virtual. That takes massive character, trust, and awareness to know what's going on, to be able to step back and do what's right because it's the right thing, even though it might take a massive hit to your ego, right? Next, treat people like they're smart, okay? And respect them always. Treat people like they're smart, like $68,000 of bonuses for a 1997 offer. That's not treating people like they're smart. That's treating people like you're going to manipulate them and lead them someplace. That's not giving them credibility for being intelligent, right? You don't have to put a bunch of scripted psychology questions in place to lead people to a certain place in the sales process. Now, I'm not going to ever apologize for any strategies or tactics people take in the sales conversation, because bottom line is we're here to help people make great decisions, reach clarity, have certainty about what they want to do, what they want to solve and accomplish. Okay. Treat them like they're smart. Treat them like they're smart. Give them a reason to do something. If there's no reason to have a limiter, like you get the discount if you talk to me today, but you don't get the discount if you talk to me on Friday. Well, it works. It's again, it destroys the credibility. It doesn't treat people like they're smart. It doesn't respect them. Right. So keep that stuff in mind. Treat people with respect. Treat people with respect. If there's a legitimate reason to have that in place, then put it in place. If there's not, then don't. And be okay with either one. All right. Next, I know this works. This is something you have to, I want you, if what you're doing are you in a position where you know it works? Are you doing it because you know it works? Are you doing it because you've always done it? And how are you evaluating if it still works the way you thought it did? Do you know why it works, right? So move, I know this works, to how do I know this works? And how do I know why this works? Right? The technology changes, the marketplace changes, people are changing at such an incredibly accelerated rate. You would be crazy to think that running the same systems over and over, same funnel, same sequence, same videos are going to keep working. They will work to a degree and to a level. And the problem is that once you start scaling, it's harder to really fine tune that. But we've had people come to us, we're running the same videos, we're running the same launch, we're running the same, and then the results are like crickets. Your people who came on your list a year ago or 18 months ago or whatever, they're not the same people they are today. Why on earth would you assume they're going to respond the same way to the same content, right? You're seeing diminishing returns. You have to get personal. They need to feel who you're changing. They're changing. Your relationship dynamics are changing. So your engagement with them needs to change. Right? And it's work. It's hard work. Hey, you signed up to be an entrepreneur, man. Now it's time to do it. Okay. Fewer product lines and fewer promotion partners, not more. Right? We had 2 clients in the last year that hit $1 million launches with 3. One had 2 partners and one had 3. Right? We've had other people who have had 50 plus partners who have had $1 million launches. We've had people with 50 plus partners who had half that. Right? It's not about the number, the volume. Don't get married to that stuff. You have to be able to, again, step back. Less is more. Slow is the new fast. Start paying attention to, does this work? Is this the right thing to do? Am I doing this because it's right? Am I doing this because I've always done it? Okay. Another trend, we're seeing people consistently produce very well with fewer partners and fewer offerings, fewer product lines, streamline like we just did, right? We cut everything out to go all in here, fine tune. Okay. Smaller and more intimate events, a huge opportunity. Don't just more butts and seats. Hey, there's nothing wrong with it. I love a big event. Don't get me wrong. And we'll crush it, but it's not always about that. Right? We've had an event in the last over the last couple of months. We've had an event with 65 buying units, right? A $300,000 event. We had one with 18 buying units in the room that did $163,000 an event. We had another one with 26 buying units in the room that did $187,000 event. It's about paying attention to people, serving people well. It's not about throwing bodies. If you treat this like a numbers game, it will treat you like a numbers game. And numbers are vital. Metrics, you need to know your numbers, you need to know your metrics, but it's not a numbers game. You are not a number to me. You are someone that I care about. You are somebody that I care about, as I care about your people and the people you serve. Not just numbers. Right? And you can't treat your people that way. All right. Increase intimacy at events. Find more ways to be personal. Everybody's looking for more and more leverage. Zero wrong with it. I'm all about it. Right? The 3 places Cyndi and I, the 3 lanes we're always focusing on: sales, scaling, and leverage, all the time. Okay, but we do it through collaboration and partnership and intimacy. We do it by creating relationships with people that we care about, that we believe in. Okay. Create intimacy. Figure out how to put a personal touch into what you're doing. Whether it's online or in person. Give people a piece of you. That's what they want. I had a client who was doing fantastic professional videos at scale all the time. Every time she went into the studio, boom, rock star. I told her, I said, look, you know what? I said, your people know that, but that's all they've seen of you for the last 6 years. How about you show them what it looks like to be in sweats and a ponytail and you just sharing from the heart? Bam, connection. People love it. They want to see you. They don't want to just see the biggest, best version of you. They want to see the real you. Right? Next, transparency. All this stuff. You notice there's really like one point that I've just restated it 20 different times. Okay. Transparency. There's a specific strategy we've seen in live events. Okay. Tell people there's an offer. Tell them there's an offer. Don't hint to it. Tell them. Say, look, let me just address the elephant in the room. I'm going to sell you something. You're wondering, of course we're going to sell you something. Okay. But we're going to make an offer for you later. We're going to share you what it would look like to be able to work with us going into next year, going through the next 90 days, whatever it is that you're offering. Lay it out for people. Take the pressure off of you and off of them. They know they don't have to wonder and wait. Tell them what's going on. Help them select, that's one key strategy. They appreciate the authenticity and the transparency of that. Right? They can relax, removes a brick between you and them and the wall. Right? Another strategy, self-select into the offer, a very positive trend that we're seeing a number of different ways. Invite people after the break, send them out. Say, hey, we're going to give you a quick break here. And then after the break, we're going to go through our mastermind retreat that we've been, talking about a little bit. We're going to invite some of you into that and share what that would look like. We want you to be able to choose for yourself. Do you want to come back for that? Or do you just want to have an extended break? right? And then there's also, of course, that many people do, right? We're gonna share with you around what this will look like at an event. I just want to invite you to lunch, and we're gonna walk through during lunch what this will look like to be able to work with us, or during breakfast, or at this session, or whatever. But to invite you up to my suite at the hotel, and we're going to have a little intimate conversation with those people who want to talk. You figure it out, but let people self-select into the offer. They appreciate it. You will get people. You will lose some of the room. There's never a 100% show up rate. However, you will have people show up willing and ready and interested in listening, and no defenses around it, because they already know it's coming and they respect you for giving them the choice. Powerful one. Don't highly recommend everybody takes advantage of this opportunity, because bottom line, again, treat people like they're smart. Respect your people. They already know. They're going to value you for treating them as an equal. Okay. Next two, I'm going to wrap this up here in a minute. Right. Shorten your offers. Shorten your offer. I'm telling you, if I saw a trend that said a 45-minute offer with PowerPoint, slides, presentations, everything you do was the key to success, I would tell everybody to do it. We are not seeing that. We are not seeing an alarming negative trend around it, but we're not seeing any difference or spike. We're seeing actually a bit of an increase with the results from people who are putting in 5 and 10-minute offers. Again, treat people like they're intelligent. You don't need to go into all the detail and try to, when you use the Robert Cialdini's influence triggers, you don't need to input in every single one, right? Use one sparing. You don't need every single slide to have an influence trigger inside of it. Come on, man. People start seeing that too. All right. Understand the back-end experience. This is a big one. Big one. Understand the back-end experience. Okay. Just keep this in mind. And I'm going to do a whole nother video just on this line, or another episode, but back-end experience. Everybody is so focused on trying to get front-end money, meaning the moment somebody becomes a Facebook ad, and how fast can you get them into your mastermind? Okay. That's great. That's always going to be a very small percentage. Right? That's going to be between 12 to 20%. Right. But in the people who are going to be buying from you over the long haul are going to be people who've been in with you for a long time. We've got a lot of metrics around this. Okay. Like 67%, we tested a campaign for a year, and 67% of the people who bought at a 8,000 to 10,000 mastermind were people that are on our clients list for 9 months or more. 67% of them. Another client who went through 2 launches in a 6-month period, and 32% of the people who bought on the second launch went through the first launch also. Right? People just need to see more of you. You need to start putting more focus on what happens when they come in the front door. Don't just bring them in your list. If they don't buy your initial offer, start blowing them up with all your JV partners. Crap, stop doing it. They want to hear from you. They want not just your drip sequence. Treat these people with some value. Engage them and start putting more of your focus. Instead of 90% of your focus on the front end and 10% on the back end, start shooting more towards 50-50 and see what happens. See what happens. There's no reason you should have 30 to 50 or 100,000 people on your list that produces, when you send out mailings, that produces 10, 20 appointments, or it's like, you have to take care of people, treat them. It's all of this is work. It's all work, but it's worth every minute and every dollar you spend on it. Okay. Shorten offers, unstack the offers, give offers the room to breathe. Don't just go with your $5,000 offer and position it with the $50,000 offer. Give them a separation. Let people, you can combine them by all means, right, in the offer, but present them separately. Present them separately. Don't present it like, this is the key person I'm looking for, and this person's the one I don't really care about. Present them separately. Give them their own sacred, special moment that this is a special client. Whether it's 2,000 or 25,000 or 100,000, doesn't matter. Everybody should be special to you. Give them the credit that they deserve. All right. The best launches we've worked have been fewer partners and more strategic. Okay. That's the next point of the positive trend. Fewer partners, more strategic. Make sure they're not just partners based on list size, but they're partners based on relationship. Do they actually make sense? Do they know your people? Do they truly complement what you offer? Or are they just a way for you to make bonuses and money by giving on somebody's leaderboard? Promote the people that make the most sense to your audience and nothing else. Don't try to find ways to make people fit. Find the people that fit and promote them. Cool. Right. There's so much more we can talk. I can do this forever. There's a lot of different things. But if you just take any one of these that we talked about and make changes to them, you will see drastic improvement, and you won't be a statistic. Okay. You won't be this you won't be this random track house anymore, regardless of what specialness is on the inside. That stuff won't go away. All right. So want to invite you right now. Look, here's the deal. We got a lot going on. You have a lot going on. Getting ready to plan and prepare, strategize for 2019. And our calendar is, we fine-tuned the calendar, and we are ready to rock your launch, ready to rock your event. We want to give you a discount, an incentive. Book your 2019 live event or launch in 2018, and we'll give you a 10% savings. Reach out using the link. The link is down below, gtenow.com/launch. All the links are in the video here. The links are in the show notes at salesunscripted.com. Go there and check it out. And you can all you have to do is put down a booking fee, a reservation deposit, or just talk to our team. Okay. This other link here. Okay. gtenow.com/get strategy, get-strategy. Again, the links are here below. That they're in that. You talk to us, we will fine tune and optimize your sales process and strategy. We'll have a sales economics strategy session. We'll fine tune the things you're doing right, the things you're doing wrong, show you how we can help it go, and let's figure out what makes 2019 a total win for you. The key is take action now. Stop screwing around. See what's going on. See what we can make happen for you. We would love to talk to you, love to help you make 2019 just take things to another level and take you off of the picture. We want to take you out of the track home and put you into your own unique environment so that people can see what they're doing, how they're doing it, and whatever we can do to help you provide a greater experience for your people. That's what we're here for. Love to see you more here. Again, Sales Unscripted, and love to hear what else you want us, what you're hearing from me that is of value, and what would you like to hear more of. We want to hear back from you a lot. So go ahead, feel free to give us comments, feedback, input, and insights, and we appreciate you allowing us to be part of your success team. All right, so let's finish this year strong and move into the new year powerfully and go change some lives. Go do life and business on your terms. We'll talk soon. Boom.